Welcome to Staying Relevant, a podcast hosted by two bestest of best pals who both, by the way, love a twiglet. Yeah. No, Will, no. Oh, no.
Oh, God, that's gone well. As always, the introductions to the guests are
We've never got it right. We've never got it right.
And on that note, there will be swearing in the podcast. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. This is a main episode, which means it's Monday, which means you'll be able to watch it on YouTube on a Wednesday. And then there's obviously the bonus episode that comes out on a Thursday, which you'll be able to watch on a Sunday, which means that you can catch us on a
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
Excellent. Rate, review, do all of that crap. Follow us on socials at Staying Relevant Podcast. And we do have a guest today. Sam, you've kind of semi-given it away anyway. But why don't you crack the fuck on with that?
So we are joined by a man who rhymes with guest. It's Mr. Will Best.
Brilliant, thank you. That's the most factually accurate intro I've ever had on a podcast.
And also, I imagine, the most underwhelming.
Well, it was the big intake of breath beforehand. I thought, this is going to be an impressive monologue.
That's a man
I might cry.
Whose name rhymes with something.
Yeah. And at least you didn't say vest, which would have been the obvious. But I guess I am a guest, so.
You're a guest wearing a vest.
I'm wearing a vest. Oh my God,
we've got a guest wearing a vest. His name's Will Best.
And I'll tell you what, as well, I have known Will I've known you for about 8 years.
Yeah.
You don't even know that, do you?
No, I do.
Will doesn't even know.
No, I think it might even be longer.
Do you think it's longer?
From because we first met at Bill.
Yeah. Which is
way back.
Maybe even 9 years ago.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
It was a short-lived media experience for both of us. That.
Do you know what the
Bill
nicest
didn't
thing?
last.
I will never forget about this. So I was a fledgling
Is this when I start crying?
presenter, and I say this story to everyone who'll listen, by the way, and which makes me sound a little bit lame, but Will basically taught me how to present for the first time.
Oh, so you're to blame.
Yeah.
Thank
Will,
you. Yeah.
Will, I came into Bill.
He was my greatest student.
I'm also really loving that Will was looking going, oh, shit.
Well, but I wouldn't like to claim credit.
You gave me the rundown. I
What you mean is you don't want to be associated with that.
This guy is a fantastic presenter and, one of the most beloved. Is this what this podcast usually is? Just people saying how great everyone is?
Normally we slag each other off.
One of the most beloved
I'm going to let you do the nice bit
personalities.
and then I'm going to slag you both off.
Okay, great. Is that why because I was going to sit over there and then you've made me sit here? Is this because you thought both in the firing line?
He should be sat here, but he's for some reason today being like, no, I'm going to sit and watch the two of you.
Yeah, because I'm just enjoying this. Listen,
it's because that's the best view in the house, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And there's just a lot of similarities between the two of you, which I think is really.
I think which is sweet.
Yeah, really lovely, and I think it would just be great for the camera angles for people to see sort of like the big brother, little brother. Kind of bromance. You're the big brother because you're kind of
I'm
the
older.
one that's. Well, you are older, although you look younger than both of us.
Do you know how
but
depressing that is as well?
No, you guys look great.
Yeah, because you're about 55 or something.
I'm 50. I just turned. Big
but-
50. The big 50. I've just done it.
I found this out at the
milestone.
Brits, so we all had a night out together at the Brits, and I was honestly gobsmacked because you are an incredibly good-looking man. You are an incredibly good-looking man, but you look so young in comparison
Childlike.
to how fucked. I mean, I look like I woke up in a wheelie bin. Sam is midway.
Hey! I'm in a glow up. You said.
Yeah, Sam is going through a blow up.
You're looking tanned,
Mate.
I've seen your videos online. You're looking
He's looking
strong.
stacked.
He's looking strong.
You see the thirst trap
From the front, the glow up is happening. Just don't look from
round the
behind.
back.
Because
Not doing the squats.
It's not just that. No, he doesn't have an arse. He goes straight from back of knee to shoulder
the
blade.
hair.
But it's more to do with the solar panel.
Let's have a look.
Oh,
the sunroof.
fuck, see, Pete, you
Let's have a
do.
look.
You're getting a bit thin up there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Just make sure you use sun cream because it will catch you out.
Yeah.
I've started doing that.
What, sun cream in the top of your head?
50, the top 50 in the top of my head.
Yeah.
Terrifying that. isn't it?
I mean, it is bad. It looks like just an incredibly big cigar burn.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no, it doesn't. But look, I've known you for ages. Obviously, you and Pete got to know each other pretty well at the Brits as well. How did you enjoy spending your evening with us? We shared a table.
Loved it because we'd never met. Pete.
No, we haven't.
But we've
never
got
met.
a few mutual contacts,
mutual friends.
Yeah.
Mutual fashion likes.
Yes, very similar styles.
Yeah.
And no, it was great. You didn't disappoint.
Oh, thanks ever so much.
I was trying to seem cool that night. I spent most of the evening trying to be. I went
You
out
gave
for,
up with
I
that,
went out
did
for
you?
a
You did. Well, you were part.
Sorry, Mum. I went out for a ciggy.
I'll be honest
Don't
with
smoke.
you.
Just thought I just want to hang out with the cool kids.
That's exactly what I did today.
Yeah, you were part of the cigarette group.
Yeah.
Which was, I've got to say,
It was quite
a strange group.
It was strange, but there was some big names in there.
Yeah, it was a strange.
Beanox, some might say.
Yeah.
Big name on campus.
Oh right, I was just saying. Yeah,
Sorry?
I didn't know that. Big. Yeah. Who was he?
Us three.
Bruno.
Yeah. Liv Atwood.
Bruno was there.
And
Liv
Maya
Atwood.
Gemma,
And
who you
Maya
know
was
as well.
there. Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean,
Cool.
the Brits was a fucking great night. We were on the same table,
Yeah.
all of us, because you are part of the Bauer family.
I'm part of the Bauer family. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Bauer.
The two of you are hits.
So Will's Sunday and I'm Saturday.
Yeah, together we've got the weekend
So you
covered.
two take the
weekend,
weekend.
Yeah. But what time does your show start? 2.
So I'm also the weekend. So I'm 2 till 5 on a
2
Sunday.
till
So
5.
what are you on Sunday?
I'm 9 till 12.
Oh, so okay, lovely.
So between us all, we've got most of the weekend covered.
So weekends at Bauer.
You have to start adding that to the intro at the beginning. Mondays,
yeah.
Saturdays, and Sundays.
Every
It's
day
7
of the
days a
week, 7 days a week.
It's actually too
us.
much. Yeah.
But yeah, God, we are the weekend group, the Bauer weekend group.
Yeah.
Who does Saturday mornings? We need to find out who Saturday mornings in. We could
Go
potentially
for a
let them,
beer.
we could potentially let them into the, unless it's a prick.
By the
It might
way,
be. No, it won't be. What am I talking about?
by the way, man likes a beer. Does Will best?
Do like a beer. I was
Yeah.
actually eyeing up those very beers there.
Would you like one?
Can I have one?
Oh, William Best, you are Pete's
you know what?
good books now.
I'll tell you what. Shall
There's a
we?
bottle opener.
I
I
didn't
didn't see it.
It's been a fucking while. Sam, crack open the fucking beers. Well, let me tell you.
have a
So
bev.
basically, I went through.
Whichever.
It's Moretti.
Moretti?
I mean, they're going to be quite warm.
That's
No,
okay.
right,
Yeah,
they're
but
okay.
I'm an ale drinker, so.
Oh, nice. Well, the beers haven't been opened on the podcast for a while because I used to drink them on a daily basis.
Oh yeah,
and then,
best before 2023.
Yeah.
That's fine.
but then since Strictly, I stopped the drinking during the day.
You stopped drinking just stop day drinking.
Yeah, stop day drinking just because
That's a big step.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't know. It was becoming a problem. The shakes were a lot.
Well,
but-
this is such a nice start to a podcast. Will Best here with a beer.
Oh.
And do you know what? Will's been in this industry for fucking years.
I've been plugging away.
Mate,
I've been
for-
at the coalface,
For years.
struggling,
Mate, so when did you...
ups and downs.
Oh, Pete's having
False
a beer! Pete's having a beer. Look what you've done!
That's because he's a gent. He doesn't want you to drink alone.
You can't let a man drink on his own.
Cheers, Pete.
Shit, I'm going to have to let you both drink on your own, unfortunatally.
Oh,
It's all right, we're drinking together. Yeah, I've been around.
Yeah, but Will, mate,
No one knows who I am, but I've been there.
Will, was it 4 Music you started on?
I started on pretending he doesn't remember. That's nice. I started on Suck My Pop.
Sorry.
Huh? Yeah, sorry, it's just my catchphrase. I should say. No, I started on a show called Suck My Pop with Kimberly Walsh,
No way!
who was lovely. That was my first ever thing. It was when MTV launched a Freeview channel called Viva. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
And I was sort of I hosted like its kind of flagship show, which was just your classic music magazine show. We did interviews. My first days filming, I did an interview with Katie Price where she waxed my chest and gave me a spray tan. I was wearing tiny paper pants, but she
So
and
you
then
and Sam have a lot more in common than I first thought. This is amazing.
yeah, big name on campus. Nothing I think about it.
Big name on campus, little man in pants.
And so I looked like a sort of crazed fan in a nappy, and I had to chase her car down Camden High Street.
When you say you had to,
Well, it was my
is
first
this the
day, and the
PR?
producer said to do it.
And you
Like
just
that,
like,
that'll
"I've
be
got
our
it."
end shot of this interview. She didn't know it was happening. Like it was back in the day when Paps used to follow Katie Price
Yeah.
around, and no one knew who the fuck I was. So in the Sun the next day there was like a whole page of Katie Price, like her car chased down the street by a lunatic in a nappy.
No way!
Yeah. And that was the first time like my parents saw me in the paper. My dad wasn't too sure about this whole TV presenter thing. And then he saw that and was like, son,
you've made it.
you've made it.
I see the vision.
Yeah, exactly.
So how old were you then?
35.
I was about to say, yeah, judging by age,
How old am I now?
just-
I'm in my late 60s. No, it was that was in 2010.
So how old were you then?
So I was
15 years ago. Then.
It was 15 years ago. I was 25.
25.
That seems a bit old, doesn't it?
25.
You see, that's the thing. I've
It
been
seems
around.
a bit. I mean, 25. It does seem a little bit old to be wearing a nappy chasing Katie
Yeah,
Price.
yeah. But look, incontinence strikes people of all ages, and you've got to remember that.
That is true. Often Sam doesn't wipe.
That's true.
But no, it was a weird start to life as in telly. But yeah, 15 years ago. So I think because I do feel like I've been doing it forever, but I did sort of have a life before it, I guess maybe.
What was that?
Worked in advertising, really dull, and I was really shit at it. And
You worked in advertising.
yeah.
And then what? Just at 25, you went, you know what? I just want to be a TV star.
I wanted to. I was enjoying my job.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before, but I was really bad. I was an account manager for this advertising agency, and I was so bad at the job. And I don't know whether it's because I was shit at it or because I knew I didn't want to do it, and that made me shit at it.
The motivation wasn't there to give a fuck.
No, exactly. But I was bad well, I did give a fuck because I was bad to the point where I remember crying at work once because I was like, this is so bad. And I eventually, I just wanted to do something fun.
Yeah.
And I thought chasing Katie Price around in paper pants.
I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, we're about 10 minutes into this, and so far, what we've had is small penis, nappy Katie Price,
Nappies.
crying at work.
Yeah.
I've done all of those.
Whereas previous to this
my
podcast,
agent's sitting over there.
yeah,
Is,
I imagine people would look to you and go, "That's a cool guy."
yeah.
How we strip them down. You're now on our level,
Only people that have never heard me
Fucking
speak,
hell.
which is most people, to be fair. But yeah, no. But telly used to be. I feel like telly used to be like back then.
Good.
It was a bit more. It was a bit more like wild, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, as Sam has mentioned numerous times on this podcast and to anyone that listen, you are effectively his mentor and someone that he looks up to. You now both work in the same radio station.
Yeah.
Sam, as we know, is a big fan of Maya Jama. You've been friends with her for years.
We can't use that as a talking point. I think I want to put it out there right now.
I don't want to say
she's going to come to the O2 show. I just think she will.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see.
Great.
I haven't asked. Of
course she
but
will.
I think she'll come.
Yeah.
She hasn't come to the podcast
What have you
yet.
done? You sent her a fan letter and said, "I've got this big thing coming up. Please, will you come?" But there's lots of things that Sam and you know, he likes to replicate some of the things that you do.
Well, likewise and vice versa.
Well, and when you say likewise, you do mean likewise because you've replaced Sam recently in a very big job. You're the new Dosh Man.
Do you mean the Dosh Dash Man?
The Dosh Dash
The new Dosh Dash. I've done one Dosh Dash.
You've done.
I've done
So does
one
that mean
Dosh
that
Dash.
you've
Have you done a
unseated
Dosh
Sam?
Dash?
I have done a couple of Dosh dashes.
You've done a
in my
couple of
time,
Dosh Dashes.
Yeah.
You've done double Dosh
Do
Dash.
you wear the outfit?
The suit?
Yeah.
I wore a man's suit. Yeah,
Oh,
they gave me a
I
man's
had to
suit.
wear a Superman outfit.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Oh, yeah,
right.
okay. So
I
there's
wore a
slight
suit that
difference.
looked like something that Joel might have worn on the Masked Singer.
Masked Singer.
You know?
So they went
Kind
with
of
a
pop art.
more mature Dosh Dash Man, whereas you went with the spandex.
I was spandexed and caped up. Yeah,
Spandex?
for
Pants-
sure.
Pants over the tights kind of vibe.
Absolutely.
So you're obviously working in the same radio station as Sam. Obviously, you did Build together. This morning, you guys both worked with this morning.
Yeah.
We should host the sofa together.
Well, we're on a sofa now.
This is basically where we're going with this. Is that
That's
eventually,
why you didn't want to sit over here.
eventually you two,
yeah.
because I'm not, you know, Sam and I have worked together for a long time. I'm not this morning material, I don't think, based on the fact that I like to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But you two, you could potentially host the sofa
I
together.
think we've got that.
Dermot and Dermot.
Kind of.
Double Dermot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, double Dermot.
If you put Dermot in the middle, it's like a generation. It's three generations
Yeah.
of
Well,
the
people-
all in the same John Smedley top, all in the same brogues. It
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Yeah. People used to say that I look like Ben Shepherd.
Massively.
But then
Massively.
actually, when I'm
Yeah.
actually next to him, we don't look anything alike. I think it's like the idea of us is similar. You know, we're kind of a similar. We're
I
cut
think
from
you
a
look quite
similar
similar. I
cloth.
think you look a lot like each other.
We're both just, you know.
He's
you're
quite
both-
jacked as
you're
well, man.
kind of-
You're
He
both
is
in
quite
good
jacked.
shape. You're both good looking. You're both old. It's
He's slightly older. He's got about
Easy.
6 months on me.
No, but
Yeah.
actually, you do a little bit. But I do think this is potentially a little test for this morning. So it'd be nice if you two could potentially look into the camera. And
Yeah.
just do
Oh, mate, yes, please.
What are we throwing to?
Okay.
We're throwing to Pete doing a Dosh
Dosh
Dash.
Dash with
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Throw to me doing a Dosh
Dosh
Dash.
Dash. And then you could do the intro, which could involve the word.
Okay,
and then we'll get pulled off air.
Okay,
all right, lovely.
We're actually going to do this, but I want to do this.
So
Will,
this
you
is
take
it.
us
This
off? You
is
start us off.
this morning's newest presenters.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
we've got to be coming out of a previous feature.
So what?
Yeah.
So we're laughing.
You're coming out of. Someone's just been in the kitchen
Yeah.
and they've just made a lovely pot pie.
Yeah.
I love a little pot pie.
Pot pie.
A little pot pie. Okay, you ready?
Go.
Okay. Okay. Do what? When I get my fingers in their pot pie? That'd be fantastic.
Put it all around my mouth.
Oh, yeah, cover me in it. Okay, bring the gravy boats. From one hot dish to another now, I do believe we've got our on the ground reporter out there ready to do.
Well, we've got our superhero, Mr. Pete Wicks, doing Dosh Dash. He's got the cape and the spandex on, and I believe he's very close to our caller's house. Hello, who's this? Leanne, well, if you wouldn't mind going to the front doorstep, we have a very special super visitor for you.
And then we're live. You're now full screen.
Take us away.
Leanne's at the door. Leanne's opened the door. I'm Leanne.
All right, Leanne.
Oh my God, it's Pete Wicks! It's Pete fucking Wicks!
It's too early for that, Leanne. I'm sorry, I'm just like here's your cash.
Okay, pull.
Yeah, pull it out. We are so sorry
We're really
for
sorry about that. Here's Jodie in a water park. Sort of thing that happens, isn't it?
And here's Kevin to talk about antiques vases.
I think you did really well there, guys.
Thank you. And also, not just presenters, producers, because these are great items.
Yeah.
Really.
Antique vases with Kevin.
I don't mean to sound like we're rubbing each other off. I don't even think that's a word. I don't mean to sound.
Before you tell us why, when you imagine rubbing each other off,
I don't know where this
is that,
sentence
is that when
going
you
to
just do you just rub against each other?
I don't know, but what I do know is that I actually think we fucking smashed that. I really do.
And you were great as well.
Yeah.
It's a shame about Leanne. She let us down. I think.
Yeah, she was a prick.
Oh my fucking God, it's Pete Wicks.
Fucking Leanne.
Do you know what? I will say this on a slightly more serious note. Why am I still talking in this morning voice?
I don't know. But
on a slightly more serious note,
you've gone into the mode now.
I know. You, like, even things like from one hot dish to another, right? That's so fast. It's like the segue's so good. Like,
It's almost like, I mean...
No, this is what I'm coming to. Is this something that you've learned over time, or is it something you've always naturally had?
Well, I think... I'm
trying to learn.
No, I think
I think I'm just funny. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, I think that's just from watching a lot of daytime TV.
What do you think?
You know, it's all about. I think it's all about segues, isn't it? For that kind of, I guess it's that old school presentery thing of just segues. But you know, when you are faced with a hot dish like that, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Stick my
anyway.
fingers in all those pies.
Yeah.
But mate, and I really mean this. You.
It was a nice try.
I genuinely mean this though. I think there couldn't be a better man to be hosting Big Brother.
Oh, that's really kind. Well, the internet would disagree.
No, but the internet fucking disagrees on everything.
You know what though? Actually, it feels like, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn, maybe I've managed to kind of cultivate a sort of echo chamber around me, but it does feel like the internet's come round.
Yeah,
always has to me and AJ because
Big Brother,
but also because it's not about us.
Yeah,
it's about the show, and I think part of the kind of, you know, the understandable like trepidation that people had when the reboot was announced was around, is this whole thing going to do justice to the format that we love?
Yeah,
and actually, the new house, the like Big Brother himself, the tasks, everything about the series we've done so far has been really good. So people that loved the show are now like, oh, okay, this is a new thing, but it's good. And me and AJ are just attached to a version of Big Brother that's really good. Nothing to do with us, like the actual show, the reality. So now I think people are kind of, no, it's true. And so now I think people are like, okay, they come with this and we like this, so they're all right.
So we like them.
Is it still in the same place? Is it still at Elstree?
No.
They've moved the house.
Was in just between Willesden and Harlesden.
Willesden and Harlesden.
Yeah, on the Willesden Riviera. It was
on the Riviera.
You know, you've never been. So you got that tan.
No, that's Costa del Sunbed.
But it's actually just moved Acton. But it's only about 10 minutes away from Willesden. So so it's still part of the Harlesden-Willesden-Acton triumvirate.
It's near the Riviera.
It's still, yeah.
Trifecta.
But we've got another new house. We've got a new house. It looks very similar to the old house.
You two, again, it's another connection.
Yeah, well,
because we have got the third place contestant.
That's
He remembers. He
amazing.
remembers.
From Celeb Big Brother.
yeah.
Well, because
What year was
pre the
it?
jungle, it was the best career highlight for you.
I did it in 2016, I want to say.
So you were the year before the All Stars thing.
Yes.
When Kim Woodburn went
Yeah,
back in,
yeah,
when
yeah,
Spidey
yeah.
went back in.
Do you know what as well? I was the perfect age for it. I think I don't know how I couldn't do it now at my age, and I'm only 32. Like,
God, so young.
No, but genuinely at 20,
young.
at 25 or 24, I think actually I was. At 24, it was such a good age.
How long was it when you did it?
It was just under a month,
And is
Yeah,
that the
it's
same
3
as
weeks,
this
3
series?
weeks now, yeah.
and it was absolute chaos. Like,
Who else was in it with you? I can't.
I had me, Amelia Lilly, who was an X Factor.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember
yeah,
Amelia Lilly.
you got on very well with that because.
All right, Pete. Let's. Okay.
Whoa! Okay,
Well,
hang on.
Listen, well, this is what I was kind of getting at.
Oh,
Is
for
that
fuck's
Sam has
sake.
obviously played the game and done Big Brother. You had a romance in there, and you were very young. And then as soon as you came out, and you gained quite a bit of popularity from it, you dumped her. So, which is awful of you.
I didn't dump it, by the way. It was a mutual leaving. If I
Yeah,
remember
but only
correctly.
one of
So
you
hang on. So
was crying.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it was Sam.
There was no tear.
And it was
There
sad.
was not one tear. She is so. I haven't
you still in
spoken to her.
touch?
No, I haven't spoken to her for years. But she was when we were in there.
That's what blocking does to you.
She was so lovely.
Yeah.
And when you know what it's like, mate, just watching it, like it's so tight knit. You need normal people like
Yes,
to
yeah,
vibe with.
yeah.
And she was like a super normal girl, like
Yeah.
mad talented, unbelievable voice. We used to
Yeah.
sing like Aladdin to each other all the time.
Yeah. Did she say you've got it?
And
You've
mate,
got it.
she
You've got what
actually-
it takes.
I don't mean to
You've
rag.
got the X Factor.
She actually did. She's the first person who alerted me to my husky Nickelback tones.
Oh,
Something to aspire to. Nickelback.
so you were doing Nickelback tones to Aladdin.
Yeah, no, I was just singing a lot. I wish we hadn't fucking started talking about it. I was singing just a lot with her.
Yeah.
Then we had, mate. That's how we know Barry, Sean Williamson.
Yeah.
So I
Oh!
did it with Barry, with Sean. I did it with Sean.
So you had a big year. There were some big people.
Mate, we had a big year.
Barry, is Barry the nicest man in the world?
the
Yes.
nicest
Yeah,
man.
He can
in the
sing.
world. He can sing,
Oh.
but also
Well, mate, he's performed at our
at our
tour.
live show.
Yeah,
Gosh,
yeah.
yes, you told me
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
mate,
And he's incredible.
I've got a podcast idea involving him.
karaoke, that's what he does.
No, but I've heard about
Karaoke's
that.
wild.
It's basically, this is the podcast. Do you want to hear a podcast?
Yeah,
Tom?
yeah.
It's called All My Guests Are Dead, right? Starts with a fake newsflash obituary of them, right? And then I'm like St. Peter, and they're at the pearly gates, and they have to try and convince me that they deserve to go to heaven. Do you know what I mean?
That's
So you're
so
going back
creative.
through their life, and you're like,
So it's,
and
like-
I'm basically sort of saying all the bad stuff they've done. They're trying to convince me of why they deserve to go to heaven, and then at the end, God makes the final decision, and that's Barry from EastEnders.
So where did Barry come from in that?
Because if you're going to have somebody playing God, it's either Morgan Freeman or Barry from EastEnders. Everybody knows that.
I love that. That's also a really good idea.
I'm so confused.
I think that's because basically what it is just an interview
It's
show.
an interview, but the excuse is
The excuse,
you're going
yeah.
back through their life,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
So it's
and
like,
they
this is your
they
life.
Confess,
Updated, this is your life. But
yeah, but it's like, and
comedic.
it's kind of they're confessing to their sins and
Yeah.
stuff, and have they led a good life so far? It could be quite serious,
Yeah, yeah.
or it could be silly.
Yeah.
Well, we make podcasts, mate. So just put a pin in that, and we will.
go. Yeah.
And we will.
And you know God, Barry,
and I
we
know Barry.
God. So to be honest, yeah, that's stolen.
such a lovely.
Thanks so much.
He's just amazing. Paul Danan, R.I.P. I stayed in
Big
touch
Brother
with
him.
Paul.
Yeah, mate. Paul was the nicest guy because I did celebrity coach trip with him.
Yes!
Which you also did. Again, me copying Sam.
I'm going to be... Guys, this is getting weird
It's
with you
weird,
two.
isn't it?
Like, it's
But-
Will hated Coach Trip.
I had the worst week of my
Will,
life.
as you can tell, Will's quite a witty bloke, obviously quite intelligent. And who was your bus mate who's a comedian?
Oh no, but Matt's one of my best mates.
Matt.
Matt is great.
Matt's super sarcastic as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
right?
Matt, well, the thing is, we didn't
You-
care about the voting thing.
Yeah.
And I think for whatever reason, there was some tough. I cried. I had a little cry.
That's
You're quite
wild.
a tearful
Well,
chap.
I do realise that
I like it. I'm here
in a
for
very
it.
short
Emotional
time.
peak.
I've told it's 2 crying stories, but it was because everybody was voting for the Honeys. And
Is
people,
that? Are you using one of
No,
Sam's
that was
words?
Honey G.
yeah,
Who was
no,
an
no,
Oh, it
no,
was
no,
actually
no, no,
two
everyone was
people called
voting
Honey.
for the Honeys.
And you felt
and
emotional.
I felt that they were being unfairly maligned during people's reasons, and people were like saying quite mean stuff about them. So then it got to us. We were the last people to vote. Everyone had kind of voted for them. Some people had said some nasty things, and so before we said who we were going to vote for, I thought I'm going to stick up for the Honeys because they were honestly so lovely, and I just got overcome with emotion. And I just want to say, I think
Pete
what you
would
say
have
about the Honeys
died on
they are
this
two of
trip.
the nicest people, and had a full little crying meltdown.
I mean, yeah,
But
that
people were being mean, and I didn't like it, so I cried as opposed to getting angry.
Do you know one of my favourite moments? So I watched their series, and you know what this is I'm about to say. One of my favourite moments is that Matt and Will, more so Matt, I would say, would clash with Honey G, who was from X Factor.
He knows who
And-
Honey G is.
Yeah, you
Everyone
must
knows
know
who Honey G is.
Um,
If Barry from EastEnders is God, then Honey G is the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, Honey G is up there, mate.
in a trucker hat and glasses.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
exactly Honey
yeah.
G is, right? And so there's a little bit of friction, and one of Honey G's reasons as to bin off Will and Matt were, I feel like they've got a bit of a fake persona.
They're playing a character.
They're playing a character, which Matt turns around to and goes, "Oh, thank you for enlightening us to that Honey G." Right? It was I was crying at my TV.
See, that is a show that I could never do.
You would lop heads off.
And similarly, Big Brother.
well, yeah.
I could never.
But
do
I
it.
guess
Pete
I
and Big
think
Brother.
I think it would be amazing to have you in Big Brother.
I would
But
be
the thing
a
is, I
national
think
hate figure and kicked out.
No, you wouldn't. You
within-
wouldn't. Because I tell you what, mate.
I'd kill someone.
Yeah, but if you killed the right person, you could become a national treasure.
Yeah.
Depends who else is in there. No, but I think. Like with Big Brother, you just sort of surrender. You have to just surrender
To the experience.
and to the process. And I think you would, because actually, like as we know from the stuff that Sam gets you doing, you are actually a fucking great sport. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And the thing that makes people look like a dick is when they just don't get involved.
Oh no! See, the getting involved and all of that would
Exactly.
be great. The problem that I would have is the people.
Yeah, but you don't know that because you're actually. I'm going to peel back some layers here.
Here we
Oh,
go.
God.
Get this onion
because
feeling out.
actually, because you know, you joke about being a grumpy guy and all this kind of stuff. Because I'd never met you until the Brits. I've only heard people say that you are the nicest guy.
Yeah, it's such a facade.
And then I met you, and you were so nice. We didn't know each other, but you were so welcoming. I was on your table. I didn't really know some of the other people there.
I was
You-
welcoming.
You, of course, you were, Sam. But I'm just trying to be nice to Pete.
I was there.
Okay, no, you're a welcoming boy, but
I was giving it out there. I said, well, let's have a
you
shot.
You said let's have a shot. You said, but I'm just. It's
I
Pete's
see,
moment.
greasing
It's
Pete's
moment.
wheels,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, but genuinely, you're a lovely bloke, and people actually, and you know what? Everyone saw that in Strictly, and that's why you did so well in Strictly. So I think you would actually do well in there, and you wouldn't have a problem with the people in there. And if people were being tricky, you want somebody who
Calls
is
them out.
prepared to remove their filter and just say. Stop being a
So
dick.
important.
Yeah.
So
important.
I think you could do extremely well. You know what? I think it could be good for you. I think it could take your career to the next stage.
Oh, I didn't realise that we were on recruitment right now.
Fuck off, Strictly. We're
Yeah.
going on Big
Yeah.
Brother.
What do you think? I mean, obviously you host it now with AJ. Would you be able to do it? Do you?
No,
think
no.
Would you be able to do it?
No, because
You know too much.
I know too
No, but I
much,
mean,
yeah.
just would
No,
you be able to be involved, be in the house? If
I
you were
would.
in there. How do you think you'd fare?
I think I would do
A lot of tears.
bad. I'd be a lot of tears. I don't think I'd do very well. I would be so worried, not about necessarily the outside world, how I'm coming across, but I'd be so terrified that the people in the house wouldn't like me and be so eager to please
Really?
that I think that people
You're a
would-
people pleaser.
Yeah, and people just think I'm being fake, and that is the worst thing you can be.
Does
that's-
that all come from Honey J? Did she left a mark
Should
on
I
you?
lie down on this? Sofa?
Yeah, he's got a scar.
Good,
And start
yeah.
talking. No, I felt that was more aimed at Matt anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I just think it would really stress me out, and I'd do the dishes too much. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly
I'd
what
be
you mean.
that guy, and people would be like,
Do you know why you wouldn't?
What's his
Though? 'Cause
game?
Can I tell you why you wouldn't? Because and this is from someone who's done a couple of those sort of like shows where you've got the spinning cameras, and mate, you forget within
no, but that's.
a
I think
day.
about the cameras, but I'd still be worried about the other people in the house.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
What they think of you.
Well, I don't know. I just think I'd be too. I don't know. I just think it wouldn't go great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Goes on it and wins it.
I think you'd have a very good chance of winning it.
Pete, I
You're
think
such
you
a
would
lucky
win it.
man.
I think you would win
Yeah.
it.
That is a fucking shit.
You would win the jungle.
You've
you'd
got to
win
have a
Big
journey,
Brother.
though. You've got to have an arc.
Yeah.
The people that do really well, they start in one place, they finish somewhere else.
So, I mean,
Can't cruise.
did you watch Big Brother before the reboot?
Yeah, of
So
course.
you're a big fan of Big Brother
Yeah, yeah.
anyway. What is your most iconic for you Big Brother moment?
I know what mine is.
Well, I think it's. I guess it's quite a boring answer, but it's David's dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never actually watched Big Brother, but I
All the
do
more
know,
reason to go in.
I do know that that fucking David's dead thing very
Yeah,
well, and
because it was just like you can't.
That's got to
script
be. That always comes up on one of them like best bits of TV over the past however long, because it is absolutely fucking wild.
It's unbelievable, and it was such a simple miscommunication that managed to spiral so far
Yeah.
out of control. And she had this whole Tiffany Pollard had this complete meltdown. So just in case anyone doesn't know, I'll give a very brief thing. So while they were filming that series, David Bowie died, and his ex-wife was in the house. And she was told in the diary room that he died. It was really sad, so she was quite upset. And then Tiffany Pollard could tell she was upset and was like, "What's wrong?" And she said, "They told me not to tell anyone." And she was like, "What is it? Go on, just tell me what's happened. I'll keep it to myself." And she said, "You've got to promise me you won't tell anyone else in the house." And she said, "Okay, fine, I promise. I won't tell anyone." And she said, "David's dead." Now, David Guest was a current housemate who was asleep in the next door room because he was a bit under the weather.
He was under the weather as well.
Yeah, Tiffany Pollard thought that he'd gone from being a bit under the weather, so he'd gone for a nap, to dead.
He died
and
in
they'd
his sleep.
only told one housemate and told him to keep it secret from everyone else.
And left his body lying
And
there.
left his body in the thing. And then Tiffany Pollard didn't think to go and check on him. She just had a complete meltdown and started running around the house screaming, "David's dead." And then everyone went in there like, "No, he's not. He's asleep." And then he was like, "I'm not dead."
And he goes, "Oh!"
But you know what the really like tragic kind of culmination of that story is, right? So people were selling, I don't know whether it was him or Tiffany that started selling t-shirts with David's dead written on, right? And then David Guest, he was going to go on tour and do a global tour with a soul choir, gospel choir. And the tour, in response to the show and in response to the t-shirts and stuff, was going to be called the David's Not Dead Tour. Okay. Now, just before that tour started, and I think he was actually in London getting ready for the first show, David did die.
So I don't know, I shouldn't have laughed.
And then and then David did the tour. And then they did the tour without him. It was
David is dead.
It was called the David's Not Dead Tour. But then they did the tour. And then he was dead. It was all because they said.
No. R.I.P. David.
Annoyingly, it's just the best. It's we shouldn't laugh, but it's the best story.
Oh, what a way to
Because
go.
it's one of them where you just think,
It's unbelievable.
But yeah,
I can't believe they did the tour.
Well, yeah, I think they went ahead. They went ahead with some of the shows. Yeah.
yeah, it's just
We would have wanted. I think.
it's the David.
Oh, here's
David.
the fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Christ.
yeah, there's
Big
been,
Brother and You.
There's been so many iconic.
Can I tell you what mine is quickly?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. We almost forgot about you for a second. Sorry.
Mine is when they had that big food fight.
Yes.
That was wild. So there was like a massive argument between everyone in the house. And like it didn't come to blows, but like they were flipping tables and throwing food at each other like animals.
Yeah.
It
There was a lot
nuts.
of like moments when. Do you remember when security got brought in for Kim Woodburn?
Oh yes.
That's when Kim Wood. She was bandying around Victorian insults. Like, she was calling people. Well, the most famous one. You're adulterers. Yeah. You're adulterers. Chicken-livered. Gang handlers. It's like she's straight out of Dickens.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you know what's
You
mad?
fucking cock grabbers. that's
You're not out of Dickens.
It's not Victorian at all.
I think your Dickens based on cock grabbers is slightly different.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Big Brother, I mean, when it first started and what Big Brother became, because I'm almost certain it's one of the first like kind of reality shows that went worldwide, and the clips that you get from like different countries,
Yes.
some of theirs, because they literally did have full punch ups, like mad stuff,
Yeah.
and they always take it in these.
Some of them are a lot racier.
yeah,
Shall we say?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely, like some serious.
Big Brother
Shit.
is the archetypal reality television show. It was before anything else. It was so ahead of its time. And
I think it was what coined the phrase reality. TV.
reality TV.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
It's
although
the Godfather of TV.
yeah, it's
Reality TV.
Well, we
The Big
all.
Brother.
I don't know if Pete did, but I used to come home and watch the live feed of the house.
Yeah.
And you used to put the birds on. The
Yeah,
birds
the birds
tweeting
on. Yeah,
on
we
the-
still
on the-
do that.
Do you still do it?
Still do that, yeah. If something's happening that they're like, shit, this is going to be good for the main show.
Yeah.
Then they put it on.
Is there a live feed?
Yeah.
There's a live
feed
feed
on ITVX. Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god!
for set hours. It's not. I don't think it's 24 hours.
But that's joke. I mean, I would definitely.
Maybe it is.
But the thing is, Will, that what people
No,
love.
it's not. Sorry, it's not during the day. It's at night.
It's at night.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's sleeping. That's a bit.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I remember watching them.
No, so do I.
back in the day.
Actually, I do. And
Yeah.
you'd watch someone get up and go for a cigarette. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's movement.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, it's going on.
Yeah.
Someone goes to the loo, and it'd be the most fascinating thing in the world.
It's
Yeah.
mad because it's such a simple concept, which is basically a social experiment of just putting people in a room. But the most important part about Big Brother is always the casting.
100%.
It's always about
100%.
people. So obviously you can't tell us who's in it this year, but last.
But we already know.
Yeah,
when
but
this goes out.
Well, yeah, but when this goes out, everyone will obviously know. Last year, was it Sharon
Louis Walsh and Sharon
Osbourne
Osbourne.
Louis and
Louis
Sharon, yeah.
Walsh.
Well, Louis was an incredible housemate because one of the great things is again why you'd be good, Pete. Is people
filter.
no
Because
filter,
I'm
but
similar to
also
Louis Walsh.
You and Louis just I don't know. I get a very similar.
Oh, God.
It's not because you said you've not seen it, right? Louis had no idea what the format was, like no idea. When after his exit interview, when he came out, he took me by the arm and like we finished the interview. I was like, "Oh, well done, you were great." He was like, "Will, you wouldn't believe what it was like in there. They didn't let us have our phones. They didn't let us speak to anyone on the outside world." I was like, Louis, that's the show. Like, what are you talking about? And that I think really contributed to why he was so good because he just didn't get it. He also thought that they would be editing. He thought that things were scenes.
So Will, do you know
genuinely.
so this is wild. So,
No.
so Will was telling me a story in Australia, and please, I think it was you was telling me this, where he was having a conversation with someone, and he went, right, come over here, and we're going to do a scene where we're talking about that.
Yeah. So afterwards, people like they would go and do like tasks and stuff. And they'd all be together, and Louis would like say some stuff, start some arguing, and then afterwards they'd be walking back to the crowd and be like, "You were great in that," like to the person he'd just been arguing with and stuff. Like he thought
that's
that it
fucking
was
hilarious.
scenes.
Everybody's watching. Everyone's watching.
So
Walsh
in
lives in the
exit
Truman
interviews-
Show.
Yeah. So in the exit interviews, we'd be playing stuff because he was so indiscreet, gossiping about. We'd be like, "Do you like when you said this about?" He was like, "You showed that?" It's like, "Yes." He was like, "You were filming then." Yes, that's the show.
Sharon didn't have a fucking clue. She
No.
didn't have a clue at all. My favourite bit of the entire show is the very beginning when they're in their own secret room and people are walking downstairs and she's like, don't know who that is. Don't know who that is.
Yeah.
And then it's like, who's that? And Louis like, no, I think I know who that one is.
Yeah.
And they're literally just like judging the people
Yeah.
as they walk through.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really a question for both of you then, as someone that's done Big Brother and someone that is now synonymous with Big Brother. Who is your ideal housemate?
As in something that like
I don't
what
mind.
I'd want to get in there.
Yeah, who would your ideal
Or no, be in there with or just watch?
to watch?
Oh, okay.
You want people that like it feels like they're from a different planet.
Yeah, yeah.
To
Why
the
Louis
world
was
of Big
great.
Brother. And I think there's somebody in this series who ticks that box. Big American star who you're like, what? Like
Yeah.
what? And what are they going to make of the other people? And that's always makes great telly.
I also, how have you got here? Like, how the process of like getting you into this building.
And how much did ITV have to stump up?
Yeah. But I love the way they do though, because you need it. I would almost have like a Kate Price go back in, or someone like that who knows reality TV back then.
Yeah.
And what it was like back then, and hasn't maybe moved, like modernized her mind in terms of like TV stuff. To
So
like
you're going
modern
iconic,
era.
you're going Scandal.
I think iconic and Scandal.
No, that's what you want together. That's the perfect combo.
And then I would slip in Stephen Fry, because he is one of the best.
And what about
minds.
Big Brother?
I would slip in Stephen Fry, but I would have like a really, as you say, like a really contrasting mind.
And
to
I
someone
think that we've got that.
I feel like this has been a really, really good fucking advert for Big Brother.
It has a bit.
Because I am psyched. I'm genuinely psyched to
Well,
watch it.
hopefully the series is going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Might have pulled off air.
hope you're all enjoying it.
Yeah.
And listen, we can't talk really about Big Brother without mentioning AJ, because
Yes.
Oh, we love AJ.
I just adore her. She's one of the most
She's brilliant.
fabulous.
Yeah. No, she's amazing. I did did a junket interview this morning with the cast of Doctor Who, and there was sort of a question about we put AJ's name in this question thing. I won't give the full mechanic, but they were making jokes about Big Brother, and then they were like, "Oh no, she's amazing, and they had no idea that I hosted with her.
No way.
Yeah. They
No
were
way.
like, oh, she's everyone's favorite, she's everyone's favorite Big Brother presenter. I was like, well, second favorite, or maybe joint. And they were like, no, she's amazing. I was like, I do it with her, and they were like, oh God, no, sorry. I was like, I'm the bloke that stands next to her.
Well, funny enough,
They had no idea.
I wish they'd
like,
doubled
that's
down.
you.
I wish they'd doubled down and be like, yeah, no, genuinely, yes.
We were talking about this on a pod earlier about the Trick Awards last year, when Roman Kemp introduced Sam and I on stage as Sam Thompson, podcaster and King of the Jungle, and the bloke that sits with him.
Not anymore.
So I've been
But that's why you're sitting on the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've been there. There, mate. Mate, you've been fucking fabulous.
Oh, thanks so much.
I think that is the first time, though, in what, 4 years that we've done this pod, or
We've
however
all
long,
burst out
that everyone has
laughing
cried.
like that. Mate, honestly, I've never...
Mate, that story, the
David story, David Guest story, the David's not dead till then he died. And then my favourite thing, they did it. I can't believe they did it.
It's what he would have wanted.
Will,
Oh well, thank you so much for having me, guys.
No,
it's
been
absolute joy. You're
an
both
honour.
top chaps.
and I really mean this. Pete's gonna fucking cringe out, mate. You deserve every fucking slither of success you get. And I mean that with
kind.
every ounce of my being. Like the nicest guy on TV. Like,
And for once, I'm not gonna cringe out. I completely agree.
Oh.
Mate, I know I
Thank
don't
you.
know you as well as Sam, but I think you're fucking great. And I
Oh,
think you're
guys. Well, look, thank
you're
you
a
very
fabulous
much.
man.
No, it's lovely. You guys are.
and maybe
big
the
fans. You
sofa's
guys are
calling soon.
I honestly, and in all honesty, now, guys, when you finish Big Brother and you've finished with the glow up, I feel like
I've got an earring and he thinks I'm having a
Oh my God! I knew there was something different. I swear. And I was like, oh, you're tanned, and you're like, yeah.
It's the hair's
I
changed,
think it's
the
good.
earring,
Do you like
the
it?
dress sense.
I like the earring. Mate, I
Thank
got my
you.
ear pierced once
Thank you,
on a
Will.
date to impress a girl.
Yeah, how did
and
that-
it was like a joke that went too far. I pretended I had an earring appointment like booked in, and then we walked past a salon place, and she was like, "Is it in there?" I was like, "Yep," and went through with it. But they put a stud in.
No, you
and
want
I
a
looked.
hoop.
It did not work.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to look like. I think it looked. I mean, I'm
Will
sure you're
Best
taking a
wants to
piss
look
out of me,
like
but don't
me.
you think it looks quite good?
No.
He's never
no.
once said it looks nice. Never once.
I actually think it looks quite cool.
I'm not sure on the earring.
Oh, but is that when did you get it done?
About 3 weeks ago.
It's good.
And I've got a mullet now as well.
The mullet that is
it's coming along.
yeah, but
Mate,
everything
you're
else.
going to be moving to Peckham in no time.
But I think but I do,
Drinking snake oil.
I do think the
Neck
show
oil,
reel
neck
we're going to
oil.
send across.
Neck oil. It's been a real pleasure having you here, Will.
You went with snake bite then, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Snake
yeah,
bite
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
Fuck it, whatever they drink in can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, thank you, and you guys are great, and thanks very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the way Will's getting ready to leave. He's already sat up. Will, what a fucking honour. We love you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, mate. I'm going to round of applause for you.
Yeah. Happy you. Happy you.
That was one of
Thank
our
you.
favourite episodes.
Oh,
I
it
think
was good
I've
fun.
ever done. This has been a Staying Relevant production.